Hi, I'm David Henderson with the Altus Group. In this week's video, I'm going to talk about social engineering. According to the Department of Homeland Security, 44% of small businesses are breached every year, and social engineering is a large and growing threat. So what is social engineering? Social engineers take advantage of human behavior to pull off their scams. So how is your company at risk? The criminal can gather a considerable amount of information about you and your business through current events, public information, your website, social media, the dark web, among other sources of information available on the internet. People inherently want to trust. That's what a successful social engineering attack comes down to. The bad guys will sometimes spend weeks compiling a dossier on your business before executing an attack. The attack may come in stages, starting with a network breach to gather details about coworkers before executing a phone attack, for example. Next, I'll cover some common social engineering attacks. Over the phone. The social engineer might call and pretend to be a fellow employee or a trusted authority, such as an auditor. The social engineer may have learned company lingo or nicknames to make the attack more convincing. A tribal organization in Alaska was taken for over $1 million when a social engineer posed as an executive ordering an accounting clerk to make a transfer. Physically and in the office. "Can you hold the door for me? I left my key card at my desk," is a common technique for getting inside of a building. Another common technique is to hand out in the smoking area and follow people back into the building. Online. The myriad of information available online have made it much easier to execute social engineering scams. The most common form is called phishing. One common example is the social engineer has found out that you bank with Wells Fargo and sends you a very convincing email that looks like it came from Wells Fargo, only the link goes to wellsfargo.com. The social engineer that scammed the tribal organization I mentioned earlier uses both an email and a phone call to scam the clerk. So how can you protect your company? Awareness is the best defense. Employees should be aware that social engineering exists and be familiar with the most common tactics. Larger companies may choose to set up an internal training program. I often recommend a company called KnowBe4. With KnowBe4, you can run mock phishing attacks and follow up with online training. Here at the Altus Group, we can also offer training and education for your employees if you'd like to go that route. We suggest you review your existing processes, procedures, and separations of duty for financial transfers. There needs to be a set of checks and balances to ensure the request is legitimate. Also, define emergency transaction request processes. Even the most trusted executives should not be able to call in or send an email to execute a financial transaction. One last word. Here at the Altus Group, we have a special address we call Threat Checker. If you send an email to Threat Checker at the Altus Group, we'll review that email and tell you if it's a phishing scam or not. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helps. We'll see you next week.